Okay, hey guys, it's Melissa again. So I am back in my old place. I have to, as a minimalist, I have to be like, I don't think I have room for everything here. So I've got to figure out if there's anything else that I don't want before I start living over there. So I've been outside like all day in the sun, walking back, got a little lost, had to walk again, on and on. So I just got home and ooh, my hair is getting long up here. And so I have this stupid envelope, right, from Kevin Leandro. Freedom, right? I'm actually the one being blessed because my husband was extremely controlling, extremely. I mean, if I was like, I wanted to go to college, I don't want you going to college. And then, just the blame game all the way up. We lost our apartment because of you. That was back in the day when we were on Monroe Street. And then he just, he really put me in a catch-22 with, I want you to stay home. I don't want you to work, as he's not willing to bring in the bacon, so to say. I came from a home where my father worked extremely hard. I mean, 4 in the morning until 6 at night, and I do respect that. He came home, worked all day, and then on the weekends we were at the bow and arrow shoots with friends. Tons of people I have been around all my life. So I don't have a problem with, just not having, so much of a circle, although church is a big circle. Um, and then if it wasn't, the shoots on the weekend, it was fixing up the house. If it wasn't that, it was, visiting people. It was just always go, 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 on the weekends. And then with my mom, not just on the weekends, but, during the week too, after school. So we would go take care of family, her mother, my grandmother, etc. So I was just talking about my grandmother today. I was looking at a jewelry store at some of the jewels, and I'm like, yeah, my grandmother, my great grandmother had a ring that my mother kept for years, and she had it fitted. And I was talking about Indian jewelry and stuff like that. So, anyways, so my husband, again, more abuse. No question about his abuse now. I can see it clearly. So I've just done some videos about the burning bed, where Farrah Fawcett plays, being a very abused woman in a marriage, and she ends up killing her husband. I could have definitely have, in self-defense, definitely could have defended myself and really hurt my husband, and I didn't, right? So he's the one who has the problem. He was so controlling that he grabbed my arms, grabbed both of my wrists, threw me so far that I hit the back of the refrigerator, and I had heels on, and I still stayed on my feet. So I'm trying to think of what happened after. I have a son who witnessed it too. So yeah, so at the end, he was getting all controlling and all mad because he was losing the house that I actually got for us. Without me working, he wouldn't have had it. And he was like, I'm so glad that we have this house. I don't have to deal with my parents anymore. And again, he didn't even want them over. He's not close to them. He's just using them. He uses everybody. So he's like, don't tell them where we live. And so we had them over. I'm like, Ben, they're your parents. We can have them over. He's like, I don't want them over. They're just going to use this and put it over our head. And as soon as they left, he goes, did you see my mother? She's like, 1,600 for this place. That's a lot of money. So he really just couldn't stand, his parents. Up until I left, he was like, I want nothing to do with them. I have no desire. I want nothing at all to do with them. So even when his grandmother died, I want nothing to do with them. So my face is all red from being outside too. So, I'm like, okay, fine. If that's how you feel, that's how you feel. Christmas parties. I don't want to go to those stupid Christmas parties and see relatives. I'm not even close to them. This is how he played it for years. And then now I see, oh, yeah, well, now I don't want to be around her. I don't want to be around Melissa, right? So he plays people. That's what he does. So this has been a blessing in disguise. And as much as, like, I had, been like, no, we're Christians and we're supposed to stay married. And, scripture says, your love for one another, shows the gospel. And he just lied about the whole thing. He lied about pushing me. I have in this proposal that the last time we lived together was Thanksgiving. No, that's about where he pushed me. But then after I forgave him, thinking after 33 years he probably deserved a second chance, and boy was I wrong. Totally wrong. He does not deserve another chance at all. I thought he did, and all this time I'm like over here fighting to survive with my family, and I'm like trying to find him a place. And we talked about, getting possibly getting a loan and building a house together and all this stuff out here. And then he just decides he doesn't want to be married anymore. And it doesn't really bother me. Like I said, it's just his issue. So he wants me to go back to my maiden name, which is Baker, and I don't think I'm doing that. I have sons named May. My channel will stay May, definitely, whether Donna likes it or not, and I will talk about my family as much as I want to talk about my family under freedom of speech, and I will keep my name as May because that is my married name. So there's no alimony. My kids are like, I don't want his money, so they don't care. I do believe there should be some alimony. He chose to ask me to stay home for years. He didn't want to, set up a savings. He didn't want to take care of us. He didn't want to provide. He didn't want to set up, retirement, nothing. So I do think there should be alimony granted automatic after 33 years. What else? What else? Oh, yeah, the restraining order with his family. I don't see his family. Why would I want to go see his relatives? I already, years ago, have been like, I don't think so. They're pretty toxic. So, I think the last time I had gone over there was my son wanted me over there for a reunion because he had gotten married, and even his wife couldn't stand his mother. So she didn't even like his, my husband's mother. So we really, I haven't been there. Like, I don't, if I would run into one of his relatives, like I think it was Linda was the last one, she told me that Ruth had some issues and she was not doing good health-wise. And, I let Ben know, and he's like, I don't really care. He's like, I'm not, and then when she died, I'm not going over there. Why would I go over there just for her money? I didn't see her when she was alive, so why would I go there now? So he didn't care about anyone. He really didn't. He only cared about himself. So I will be objecting to some of the stuff. I just sent an email to out to my lawyer to see what she thinks of this. We'll see if she still wants to represent me where she couldn't do an appearance. And yeah, I mean, this is kind of what you got to do as a woman. You got to stand up for yourself. Somebody said to me, who are you? I'll tell you some things about me. And my husband doesn't even know me very well. I've got people texting me. First of all, I believe in loyalty. I believe in loyalty to God, and I believe in loyalty to people who are loyal to you. So, I tried to be loyal to my marriage, and my husband didn't want it, and we are definitely done. It's a blessing in disguise. Let me see, what else? I believe in not betraying other people. My husband totally betrayed me. Mutual respect is certainly important to me, very important. My independence is important. Having my space to do things I like and things I want to do. A lot of couples don't even live together. They stay married and they don't always live together. One will live in one state with work, another will live in another state with work, and they make it work. I met a lady who was talking to me about this. They make it work. They just figure it out. And especially if your husband serves in the military like hers was, and she didn't want to go over with him. So, what else is important to me? I think seeing who you are is really important. If your husband can't see you and he's just got like a negativity about him, I don't think that's going to really, be good for a woman. She needs a man who can see her for who she is and appreciate her and cherish her. And as I talked about like some of the stuff in my family, I think about like when I was dating back in the day, right? And I had no direction. I had all this worldly stuff around me. I had all this worldly movies, music, everything, and no direction. And thinking about, how do who to even date? How do you know even who to marry? And you're just kind of like going through the dating stuff and you're like, okay, this guy's got this and this guy's got that, and you're trying to figure it out. And so I think when I married my husband, it was kind of just like, yeah, this he's at least he's better than this. At least he listened to me where my dad didn't always, make time for me. I think that was the main reason why I married him, because he listened to me. Um but that's still a low standard, very low standard for a man. When he's not pouring into you, he's not investing in you as a person. Even when I went to hairdressing school, he's like, I don't want you going to hairdressing school. So he didn't want me going to college. And here I am trying to go to college and I got him on my back, not supporting me. He didn't want me to be in hairdressing school. I didn't listen to him. And then later on, he didn't want me working again. And the roof to the trailer was caving in. And I'm like, well, do you have any ideas? No, I fixed this place up the best I could, and I don't know what to do. And I'm like, well, I'm working, I'm still homeschooling. I've got, 4 years or something to go, 5 years. I'm going to do both, right? So I came alongside of him. And, even with the money at one time, we were in a church and I'm like, hey, do you want to do these finances? Because you're not making enough money. You just took a second job, like not a second job, but another job. And you lost money making that decision. And do you want to help me here? I can't do finances. I'm like, well, you're doing it because I'm not, and you're going to do it. So he sat down with a piece of paper and a pen and he's like, I can't do this. I can't do it. So I had to do it. And he's like, I want you doing the finances. And I'm like, Ben, why don't you do it? And I had a lady at church say, have him do the finances. And then someone else said, I said, look, he's not good at it. And someone else said, whoever's better at it should be doing it. And that was me. And that's what I did. And he didn't appreciate a thing. He didn't appreciate all the help with the cancer. His grandmother came to see him. His parents didn't even bother to really see him in the hospital. I think his sister went over. No, his sister didn't want to go. She didn't want to see him in the hospital with cancer. His parents may have visited once, thought it was all fake. He really did have cancer. So these are the type of people he's gone to. And rather than take responsibility and say, I just wasn't happy. I did push her. I should have never did that. I didn't really want to connect with my parents. I'm the one who didn't want to. Instead, he's had to have a scapegoat. And he has used me, his wife, best friend for a lifetime together, to blame his problems on me. So, I thought he was a man, and I was wrong. I thought I knew him, and oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Instead of taking the blame and saying, you know what, I'm glad you threw me in my truck because I deserved it. I pushed you, and I had no right to do that. That would be a change, but he doesn't want to change. He just wants to play the victim. And so God will deal with him. I'm going to do my part with the objections. God, no doubt, will deal with him. No doubt. Pray that, if a man is leaving you and, he's mistreated you, pray God will break him. And God will. God will. I mean, he usually answers my prayers. God will break him in half for what he's done. And as far as all these people in his family supporting him, and oh, they all like Ben, bull. They didn't bother with Ben for years. You know, they had just, he played the victim and he's finally got friends in his life. So he's playing the victim for his benefit. And so when you see a man like this, it's just disgusting. It really is. It's sick. He's sick in the head. And, you know, his family tried to do this with me before. They were like, oh, you know, Melissa this, Melissa that. And so Ben knew, you know, how I felt about all this. He knew it and he betrayed me like a Judas. And so when this happens, just wipe the dust from your feet. I've listened to some divorce songs, and again, I'm like, these are sappy. Yeah, we were close. You know, I've listened to a song about, um, you know, how we were close, and it's like that day is gone. That day is gone. He has become my enemy, and we are to love our enemies, and all I can do is hope the best for him and pray that God will deal with him and break him for the way he has acted. And um, he just, it's unbelievable how he has acted. Unbelievable. And there are no words. I mean, I went to a divorce class when he filed for divorce, and there are no words. He's the one who started the whole divorce thing with his parents. And it's been okay for him to say throughout the years, I think I want a divorce. But when I say, well, if you want a divorce, go ahead and get one, it's a whole nother story. Let's blame Melissa for that one too. So he is sick and he needs help. I mean, the guy I knew, he no longer exists. He's not the guy I married. I married a guy out of love. I thought he cared about me. I thought he loved me. I thought we had something special. And boy, was I wrong. I've been watching videos too with the narcissists. Even in the bedroom, they will be in a fantasy and they will use you rather than be affectionate. So, you know, this is all good news for me. But he has just been totally rotten, much like the world rather than Christ. Okay, that's what I got for now, guys. Thanks for joining me.